My name's Steve Middleton, and I'm here to talk to you about the sport handball. Handball is a fast-paced sport, and it's a great replacement for cardio if you're not big into running or jogging like I am. It's very competitive, and best of all, it's a lot of fun. And since most people know very little about the sport, I'm here to share my info on it. Handball takes many forms. You can play in teams, or you can play in singles, or even whenever you don't have enough for team play and too many participants for a singles style match, you can play it in cutthroat style. But for starters, we'll stick to the single style of four-wall play. When playing handball, you're in an enclosed room with four walls. One person serves and the other returns, much like tennis, only there's no net and it takes a little more geometry. For the server must stand in the service box, which is 5 feet wide. The front line of the service box is 15 feet from the front wall, and the back line is at the midpoint of the court. The box stretches a complete width of the floor. The returner must stand behind the service box. Once all players are set, the server drops the ball and strikes it with their hand. The ball must hit the front wall and not bounce on the floor until it hits the floor behind the service box. Once the ball bounces, it can be returned by an opposing player or before the bounce if they so choose. If the non-serving opponent chooses, they can allow the ball to strike as many sidewalls and back wall as they want, but must return the ball before it strikes the floor a second time. If the ball hits the floor a second time before a return, that results in a point for the serving participant. If the ball is successfully returned, it then becomes the server's responsibility to return it again. All returns and serves must hit the front wall before they reach the floor. If the server fails to score, then you switch servers, and servers are allowed 2 short or long serves, which is when the ball strikes the back wall before the floor, and then if they use up those 2 short or long serves, you switch servers. Only the server can score, so if the returner wins the rally, it becomes their serve. And the first player to score 21 points like this wins the game. Here's a little about the history of handball. It's thought to have originated in Egypt around 2000 BC, and it was also played in the Central America regions and into the American Southwest by natives. Changes to the rules of the game eventually led to the creation of tennis in the 16th century. Dutch philosopher Erasmus said, "You may sweat more, but the game is prettier when played with the hand." There was some controversy on the game, how it should be played, and the traditionalists in favor of only using hands stuck with handball. Those who decided to go with the racket created the sports tennis and racquetball. In 1427, King James of Scotland had his men block up a window in his cellar so it would not interfere with his handball. 3 days later, when his assassins came to kill him, he realized his mistake. That window was part of the original escape route. His addiction to handball actually led to his death. The game was introduced to Americans in the 19th century and has since developed into a professional and collegiate sport. National and world championships are played annually. There are many reasons to play handball. First off, it's great exercise. When playing handball, you will burn an average of 1,150 calories per hour, and only running burns more calories at 1,584, given that you run 10 miles per hour, which translates to a 6-minute mile. It's very competitive and really fun. It provides an opportunity for recreation, and it's inexpensive. Gloves to play handball are only $15 a pair. Glasses, which you will need, will run about $20, and a 2-pack of handballs will run an average of about $8. And that's all you need to get started. I know that there are 2 courts on campus at EKU, and most any YMCA or fitness center will usually have courts. So if you're like me and you want to exercise but you'd like to make it fun, or you just plain don't like running, handball could be for you. Or if you're just looking for some recreation, find a partner and get your equipment together and hit the courts. I'm sure you won't be disappointed.